Hello guys and ladies, welcome back to my channel F1 David's show, where I am just a talking head discussing what just happened in Formula 1. In this episode I will be discussing what just happened in British Grand Prix 2023. I again don't have like a proper script what I'm going to talk about, but during the race, this time at least, I prepared some talking points which are just written down with my very bad handwriting. So let's start with the pre-race, because, well, again, Sunday for me is just a tradition. I not only watch like a proper Grand Prix, but I also watch Formula 1 pre-race, Formula 1 post-race, so it's a full like a weekend of Formula 1 for me, 23 weekends a year, and next year it will be 24, which is another story. Why I wanted to start on pre-race? Well, very interesting thing I just noticed while everyone is talking about who's gonna win. Like there is a very good chance both for Lando, Norris and Oscar Piastri. They're in very good position. Both Mercedes, Ferraris and Paris also should climb from P15, which is again another talking point. Why the hell, for the fifth time in a row, Paris just can't deliver in quality? But what I noticed is that everyone is just talking about like P2 and P2, P3 and lesser positions, because I think that everyone just knows that Max Verstappen is inevitable, and I don't remember like the guy who is talking about it, but the one, the American guy with a Palmer, who was talking about this Grand Prix. He mentioned it 5 or 7 times that okay, Max Verstappen is P1, sorry, and then like a midfield cars, like they just they just think that okay, there is a Max Verstappen, he's inevitable, he will win no matter what, no matter like the weather, the strategy, like he just wins, that's it. So first place is his, and in a 2 hours time we will all listen to to national anthem of Netherlands and Austria. I think that's the same vibe was like in 2002, 3, 4 and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, when Michael Schumacher was just winning all the races, and when again after him it was Sebastian Vettel, after him, well, for 2 years it was Fernando Alonso, but for huge amount of time it was like it was Michael Schumacher, it was Sebastian Vettel, then it was Lewis Hamilton, and now it is Max Verstappen. But it's just funny that the second place on a podium is a midfield car, no matter who it will be. So yeah, and the other thing which I should mention is that Max Verstappen, before British GP, after the British GP, he is leading not only the individual table, but also the constructors table as well, and by some margin actually. But yeah, just wanted to share this thing with you, and let's move straight to the race. Okay, the start of the race was phenomenal. GG Lando Norris, he went for it, he had a better start. He didn't like he wasn't afraid of Max. He overtook him in the first corner and he led for 5 laps. Then there was the DRS of Max opened. He just overtook him, and well, Lando Norris actually didn't defend too much, which again makes sense because that's not the race he was in. He knows that, well, no matter what, Max will overtake him, and he just has to protect his tires. He has to think about the long-term game because he wants to be in this podium and British driver on British GP, and to bring home lots of points for the team. And at that point of time, there was a double podium for McLaren on Lando Norris P2 and Oscar Piastri P3. So everything went well, but for us, for fans, for viewers, for 400,000 people watching from the stadium, well, not the stadium, from the grandstands, from lap 5, when Max overtook Lando, up to lap 31, it was just a snooze fest all throughout the field. Yes, Sergio Perez like overtook few cars. There were some battles, not battles, but just a chasing, like from Russell to Leclerc. There was some pit stop, but mostly I was chatting with my friend about the race, like how boring it is, and we were just laughing about it. But yeah, there was so much anticipation before this race because every year British GP just delivers like a good races, and it did. But if we're going to the end of the race, but at that point of time I was thinking, oh please, we need something like a safety car, virtual safety car, red flag maybe, because some people already pitted, some not, so there will be some sort of strategy and some surprises as well. But yeah, and Hulkenberg or Madison, oh man, I don't remember who was it, and then I didn't write it down whose engine was blew up, but what I wrote is that thanks to Haas and Ferrari engines for something interesting, because on lap 31 like some cars already pitted. It was, I think, Sainz pitted, Russell, Piastri, for sure. Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, and Alonso didn't pit. And yeah, it was a virtual safety car, and then there was an actual safety car because the Haas's car parked in such spot that they couldn't just pull it away, and there has to be a vehicle, like a big vehicle, truck, which had to pick it up to some safer place, and that's why we got the safety car. And that changed a lot, because we had like a 20 laps until the end of the race, and most of the cars went to softs, and well, because most of the cars started on mediums or hards, that's why they did have this option to go to the softest of the compounds, because, and again, it made sense because the fuel already was much less from the beginning of the race. The car was lighter and the degradation wouldn't be as hard, and actually the degradation wasn't even issue during this race actually. And most people anticipated that, oh, there would be a two-stop race, but at the end of the day, most of the cars managed to have very easy one-stop race, and especially the front of the field with starting on medium, going to the soft, and that strategy worked beautifully for them. But during the safety car periods, what I just noticed, Sainz, Ferrari screw him over, like properly screw him over, and I think but that oh, again, it's all conspiracy, of course, but it's they basically, well, because he stopped before the safety car, but and he did have an option to have another stop, going to softs and trying his luck to overtake some cars before the end of the race. But he trusted his team. He said, guys, Javi, I think he's race engineer, tell me if I lose this, if we go to the pit, how many places we lose, and who, like, yeah, how many places, to whom, and what are the tire compounds of those who will be in front of me. And Javi basically said that it will be Albon, Perez, and someone else, I don't remember. And Sainz said, well, okay guys, you're getting salary for your job, so tell me, should I pit or not? I shouldn't do your job. And basically in a matter of seconds they said, okay, we stay out. And that was dramatic for him. And now it's a little bit of conspiracy that they did it because last year the same thing happened for Ferrari. When Leclerc didn't pit, he stayed on the hards on first place. Sainz did pit, went to second place, and they said, okay, hold the position, defend Charles. When Sainz said, F you, I'm gonna win this race, I won this race. And he did it, he won this race. Charles wasn't even on a podium, he was like 4th or 5th. And that's basically the payout for what he did last year. And again, just a notice, this is all the conspiracy theory from my side, which I just came up right at this moment. I don't believe it like for 100%. I'm just saying that Ferrari strategies are poor. They are not so good as for Mercedes, McLarens, and of course Red Bulls. And they're just, yeah, they are not that good at their job, and that's it. Okay, let's go to the next point then. And the next point is the restart after the safety car. We basically had 14 laps before the end of the race. And I loved it. We had another sprint race with so many different strategies in the top 10. We have Max Verstappen. Okay, he's just, let's take him out of the equation. But when McLaren pitted Norris, I thought, okay, that's a straight situation. Just pit him, change his tires to the softs, go to the end, GG, second place, nice points. But they pitted for hard tires. Okay, they didn't have new soft tires, but they had something from quali. But they basically don't know why they wanted the new tires. And that's why they pitted for hard. And even on the radio, when Lando said, okay, what's the situation behind me? And they said that, okay, Lewis Hamilton on softs, and there was like a very like a strong sarcasm from Lando, like, oh nice, very easy job for me. And even after the race, on a post-race interview, he said the same, like, looks like Zach didn't want me to get this second place like easily, and they wanted to test me out even more. But anyway, okay, on hindsight, yes, sure, that was right decision, or maybe not the right decision, but just Lando did make this right decision. But yeah, the battle for the second place between Hamilton and Norris was incredible. It was tight. It was right on the edge, but it was respectful. Both of them did get the space. They keep the space for the second driver. But I think that basically, well, Lando did a great job, but Lewis was a little bit scared of going for it, even back in Cops and in other corners as well. But I think he had just hit. Well, I'm sure that there wasn't such a thing, such a feeling in his head or thought that I still remember what happened in 2021 in that particular corner, and I don't want to do it again. And again, for one of my fellow drivers who is also British driver. So yeah, or not, or it's just again my thought which I share with you, as I would love to. But yeah, it was the great driver, the great drives among the field, but the biggest loser, as I already mentioned, even before the safety car ended, is Sainz. He was in a bad situation. He had I think 10 or 12 laps old hard tires, and behind him were fresher and faster tires of Albon, Sainz, oh sorry, not Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Stross, and etc. And yeah, the biggest loser, of course, was Sainz, even though I really rooted for him, because for the last few races he had a very decent race pace, quality pace, and yeah, but yeah, this race just was detrimental for him right after the safety car ended, and the bottom of his race, of course, was I think it was last, or well, it was 15 or corner 15 or 16, where basically in the last one corner he lost to Perez, then to Albon, then to Leclerc in like 2 or 3 corners, which was very disappointing for him for sure. But overall, again, a very poor performance for Ferrari, who started 4th and 5th and finished 9th and 10th. So yeah, not a good race for them at all. And I think one of the last things which I wanted to discuss with you is that what the heck happened between Gasly and Stroll? Like, I again don't remember whether it was before safety car or after the safety car, but in one of penultimate corners, Gasly and Stroll went to the corner. It was a fast right-handed corner before the penultimate one. I don't remember their names, sorry. Basically, they went to the corner and Gasly pushed Stroll a little bit to the edge, well, above the edge of the racetrack, but Stroll said, okay, you pushing me, then I will just overtake you. And he overtook him basically outside of racetrack. He gained in position, and Stewart said nothing about it. For me, it was a strange one, because honestly, I think that Gasly was in the right position to do it, because basically it was his corner and he was able to go as wide as possible, which he did, but Stroll just had to abandon this attempt and go for it another time. But stewards, well, they didn't have different opinion, and that's fine. But then they didn't even show it, but Gasly basically overtook Stroll again. But then again, Stroll, well, that was in a penultimate corner for sure. Penultimate and the last one. Basically, Stroll went for it, for Gasly to overtake him, didn't manage to do it, went out of the track, then returned to the track, smashed, well, not smashed, okay, hit the Gasly, he just hit the Gasly. Gasly most probably just broke his suspension, retired, and Stroll got 5 seconds penalty, of course. Well, it doesn't matter because he was out of some points, but still, for me, first of all, it wasn't a 5, well, okay, doesn't matter. 5 seconds, it's 5 seconds. They have to give him some points for driving such a reckless race, and that was just stupid from Stroll, because from race to race, he doesn't even score the points in this very good car, especially in the beginning of the year. And for sure, if there was some other driver, don't want to say names, but maybe just some driver of level of Hulkenberg, then Aston Martins would be second in a championship. But at the moment they are third, and only thanks to, well, the great Fernando Alonso. Yeah, again, I have a strong opinion that if Lawrence Stroll does want to win the championships, to build like a championship team, then I'm sorry, but he cannot have his son in the second seat, because in my opinion, well, again, very controversial, maybe very subjective for sure, because again, I'm just sharing my opinion on this matter, but Stroll just drives for himself. He doesn't care about the team, he doesn't care about the money for sure, he just drives because it's basically his hobby, and if he doesn't have a seat, well, that's fine. But as long as Lawrence does want to win something like decent, he has to sit with his son and said, okay, you had your fun, but for now we need some more experienced driver. Maybe a return of even Sebastian Vettel. If maybe he gained more motivation outside of racing, and he's ready to jump in a car, especially with his hopefully good friend Fernando Alonso, and try to maybe not win the championship, but for sure to with such a car to compete in points every race. And we know that Formula One is a business, and running the team requires lots of money, and every single points, every single position in the championship gives you additional, not 1 million, but tens of millions of dollars by the end of the year. So yeah, I think that's what Lawrence Stroll should do. But anyway, let's not let's not finish on that. That's a bad talk from my side, and let's go back to the race finish. Well, of course, Max Verstappen won. He also got the fastest lap. He got again maximum points in this race. Second place is Lando Norris. He did manage to stay away from Hamilton. I think that's because also that Hamilton's soft tires, were overheating by all the aerodynamics coming from McLaren's back end. So yeah, but two bridge drivers, very nice podium, very subtle podium in my opinion, and in the cool down room Like again, it's just a podcast of Max Verstappen where he has like a different guests, and this time he had a very good of his buddy Lando Norris in the cool down room, and one funny picture I noticed that when they showed on the big screen like the battle between Norris and Hamilton up to cops, and I think that was just in Max's head was, oh, that's like Vietnamese flashbacks on what happened in 2021. Again, it was a very bad memory, but still, for now, I think we can definitely laugh about it. I will try to make a screenshot of this scene in YouTube. I will try to find it, but yeah, it was very funny. But overall, if I have to grade this race, well, up until lap 31, I would give this race like 6, and only because the first 5 laps, when Lando was leading the race and Max was catching him. But if we talk about the whole race, I would give it decent 7. It wasn't a banger, for sure. There wasn't so many overtakes, it wasn't like very big battles for the positions. It was actually very tough to overtake, at least from my point of view. Because this, again, DRS wasn't strong enough to be close at the end of the straights. So yeah, and again, Max wins, so no surprise from that side. But yeah, 7 out of 10, decent race, not the greatest one, but not the worst one for sure, not Baku, stinker, this year at least. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for sitting up until this point. If you like this video, please leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments below. What was your memorable situation in this race? And if you enjoy my content, I would appreciate if you share this video with your friends and family, don't know why, but still, and of course subscribe to my channel. Thanks and see you in the next race. Bye!